The trap of excess. Why we judge others instead of examining ourselves. Every human being on this planet relies on something to get through the day. Whether it is a morning cup of coffee, a rush of sugar for an afternoon boost, a glass of wine to unwind, or botanical medicine used for deep healing and restoration, we all seek out tools to find ease, comfort, or equilibrium. Yet, humanity has developed an uncanny habit. We take things designed for utility, science, or medicine, overindulge in them, and then cast a blanket moral judgment over the entire substance, rather than examining our own relationship with balance. The double standard of daily life. Consider how society treats different compounds. Cannabis, for instance, has been used by indigenous groups all around the world for millennia to connect spiritually and for profound medicine. For many navigating chronic illness, it offers life-changing relief. Yet, because some individuals overindulge, especially developing adolescent minds unequipped to process it, society slaps a heavy, toxic stigma onto the plant, treating it as a societal menace. Meanwhile, look at sugar. Refined sugar is a powerful, hyper-addictive substance, overused across nearly every processed food product on the market. Millions consume it daily, not for medical necessity, but purely for the dopamine hit, the immediate feeling of comfort it provides. Society accepts this massive, systemic overindulgence as normal, yet people will casually look down on someone utilizing a targeted plant medicine for their health. This selective outrage exposes a glaring hypocrisy. But excess is not limited to substances. We can overindulge in entertainment, outrage, ambition, technology, validation, or even our own beliefs. The object changes. The imbalance remains the same. Whether the dependency is chemical, emotional, psychological, or ideological, the underlying pattern is remarkably similar. We seek comfort, certainty, or escape until the tool begins using us instead of us using the tool. The object changes, the imbalance remains the same. We pick and choose which dependencies are acceptable based on what is culturally normalized, while weaponizing stigma against things we personally do not use. The smokescreen of judgment. Why does society lean so heavily into this cycle of policing others? The uncomfortable truth is that deep down, one reason society may lean so heavily into this cycle of policing others is that judging outward can become an easier task than examining ourselves, a psychological smokescreen designed to keep the spotlight off the state of our own houses. When people scream the loudest about someone else's choices, it is almost always a defense mechanism. It masks their own daily habits, their own dependencies, and often, their own past behaviors. If we applied the same hyper-judgmental, stigmatizing lens to everyone's daily caffeine intake, hidden sugar consumption, or past indulgences, the entire house of cards would collapse. Almost no one has a completely clean slate. The cost of condemnation and the reality of access. Beyond the sheer hypocrisy, this constant judging comes at a heavy spiritual and energetic cost. From a spiritual perspective, every time we choose judgment over understanding, we lower the quality of our own inner experience, anchoring ourselves in negativity. We open ourselves up to the darker aspects of the world while doing nothing to elevate our own lives or anyone else's. Worse still, this judgment is often completely blind to socioeconomic reality. People mock or look down on others for what they eat, completely ignoring the existence of food, desert, and systemic poverty, where fresh, whole foods are financially or logistically out of reach. When families can only afford what is available at the local dollar store, criticizing their diet isn't virtue, it is cruelty. People are simply trying to survive, cope, and navigate existence the best way they know how within a system designed for consumption. Reclaiming personal accountability. It is time to step back, relax, and stop trying to police everyone else's tune. True wisdom begins when we turn the critical eye inward. The next time you find yourself reacting to someone else's lifestyle, their medicine, or their plate, pause and ask yourself a few grounding questions. Is this judgment going to make my own life better? Or is it just lowering my frequency? Is saying something to or about this person going to benefit them? Or am I just feeding my own ego? Do I actually have a leg to stand on, considering the daily crutches I rely on just to get through my own life? Every single thing on this planet can become a hazard if overindulged in. But almost everything carries a valid, beautiful purpose when approached with respect, moderation, and necessity. When we drop the stones we are holding, stop punching down at poverty, and clean up our own houses, we open the door to true empathy and collective healing. If this resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe, and pick up a copy of the Ark of Truth today. Saboth Jesulaya, the 13th, Prime Aeon, www.the-ark-of-truth.com.